All right, we're back, and we've got the Dishonored camp. You know, I was honestly expecting them to have like more permanent looking setups, just because I don't know, they always seem like the kind of people that would well set up.
Well, they have some kind of fortress, but
Yeah.
probably the lower grunts have tents.
I guess, yeah. Let's see. So we've got at least a couple of things around here to... What's that? There we go. That's the button. It's
There's
been
an
a while since we've played
Alfonsa.
this.
Halfway's Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, Halfway's Dead is a red scarlet.
Yep. So let's start with Akalos. Greetings, Fatebinder. Akalos, 38th Legion. I thought this was... Oh, 32nd Legion. Sorry, I was looking at this. It looked like TM, and I was really confused. The soldier salutes. Glad to see Tunon's Agent Grace from Agent Grace Ironhearth.
We haven't been reading stuff lately. have
Ash's
we?
troop has no lack of order, but a servant to the court is always welcome. Between our missing commanders and a Scarlet Chorus lieutenant pinned down, I'm afraid we have our hands full. I suppose I can spare a moment for conversation. You need something for me? Tell me about the Scarlet Chorus lieutenant. Seems our troops have this little maggot of Scarlet Chorus cornered over in Kato Village. From what I'm hearing, it's the same guy who's been ransacking our caravans the past few weeks. If I wasn't already handling something for Ash, I'd go and skin the filth myself. You being here simplifies matters. Make sure this lieutenant doesn't leave the village with his life. I will handle it. Good of you to pitch in. No one will mourn the loss of one more chorus rat. He marks the location on your map. Other questions? Let's see. Nah, I don't care too much. Lore is important, but pace is important too. I don't know, like, character-based lore is a little bit less interesting. You can chime in if you really want me to stay and talk to people, but...
Well, we should talk with these guys. They have gold
Absolutely.
markers on them.
Let's start with Alfonsa, though it'll probably be both.
The disfavored soldier chuckles with disdain at the Scarlet Chorus fighter. Consider it, not for a second. We pick our soldiers from elite, northern families. We don't recruit from flies buzzing over a mass grave.
Are the disfavored so narrow-minded? My gang's strength delivered us half a dozen battles with a line of fallen enemies in our wake. Not many conscripts can say the same.
The question is not a matter of your skill, but of your breeding, your training, your pedigree. Noticing you, the Iron Guard salutes. Hail Graven Ash, Fatebinder. If I might take a moment of your time.
What do you need?
This person comes representing a Scarlet Chorus gang. What did you call yourselves again?
The Grinning Bleeders. We have a long and storied reputation in the Scarlet Chorus ranks. Killers of the highest order, my gang. He puffs up his chest with pride. Before I was boss here, I ran with the Broken Shits, the Salty Nightmares, and the Trap Gang. Everyone made a name for themselves during the war.
You made up at least 2 of those gangs. I don't even bother denying it. And don't even bother denying it. Just be careful what names you toss around when there's a former boss standing within earshot. You little pissant.
One of his eyebrows snaps up at attention. Verse, so kind of you to chime in with your corrections.
In any case, he's asking to join the disfavored, which is out of the question. I've explained the numerous reasons why we can't allow it, but the wretch won't listen.
Is that accurate? It is. We're not looking for special treatment, just a new beginning. Seeing as we're healthy, fit, and combat ready, the Ironclad should have no reason to refuse us. He sniffs, especially since they're low on numbers.
That may be true, but it's no excuse to pollute our respectable ranks with your company.
We're more than capable. Put any weapon in our hands, or send us on a suicide mission. It'll be a mercy compared to what we faced under the Voices in Herat.
That much is true, at least. There's something to be said for a general who isn't going to gut you in your sleep because it suits his flair for the artistic.
Those are the first fair words I've heard you speak about General Ash. Perhaps you're coming around.
Then you can count on them being the last, you overfull midden pile.
If we joined up, the disfavored wouldn't have to compromise their staunch northern morals. We just take the bloody work off their hands. Do you want me to decide the matter?
You must know Kairos' law back to front, and I trust you know your traditions as well. If it peels this lamprey off my backside, I'll allow it.
Speaking for my gang, we'll expect your judgment. We're eager to crack some Tearsman skulls with Kairos' army again, no matter what color they wear. Let me take your testimony first.
Of course, I have nothing to hide.
Why can't the recruits join the disfavored?
Most of us would rather swallow our tongues than take orders from some rigid officer who talked his way into leadership, but to each their own. Where do I start? Not only does Graven Ash handpick his disfavored from the decorated northern stock, he takes a personal interest in our training and education. We are his sons and daughters. To accept anything less in our ranks would to hold the very process in contempt. The only capacity they could serve would be manual labor, hauling wagons or digging latrines. But that's the work of slaves, and not what they've come requesting.
Why this interest in the disfavored? Better training, better quarters, iron weapons. The disfavored have everything we wanted out of joining the military. We want to serve Kairos to the best of our abilities. Is that asking too much? Old Ironclad seems to think so. Their respect for command leaves something to be desired. Why did you leave the Scarlet Chorus? Our old gang boss fell at the last battle of Vendrian's Well. We saw how the disfavored operated and realized it was a better chance for a better life. A longer one, too. Desertion happens every day in the Scarlet Chorus. I can tell you that we won't be missed.
He says that like he's boasting. Only the shitheel recruits who never make a name for themselves are overlooked at muster.
What is my help worth to you? We're playing that game, are we? He grins. I managed to pocket a few handfuls of rings. Fair trade for starting a new life.
Stealing from the boss is a good way to find yourself at the end of a pike. Be prepared to change your name before the end of the war. So, what I'm getting at is, these guys wanted to join the disfavored army to have better quarters, to live.
Yeah,
whatever.
to not live in like a sty.
But
pretty much.
who's to say that they won't desert the disfavored?
Or
turn
I mean,
on them?
They seem relatively loyal to Kairos comparatively, or more so. I think they just like fighting.
Will they prove to be a detriment to the disfavored, or somehow weaken their flanks?
I mean, he doesn't seem like he's
willing to bribe you with rings.
Yeah, but bribes always feel like they're double bladed, if that makes sense.
Also, Verse seems to say that he stole the rings from his dead boss.
Yeah. I'm gonna say no deal. Ready to make a ruling.
Okay, so let's see. You abandoned your duties. Execution is the only recourse. You are no longer in the military. Go live civilian lives and keep Kairos' peace as best you can. Consign you to hard labor, hauling wagons and digging latrines. So that's doing the slave work that the disfavor wanted. So
I need time to consider. Farewell. We might be able to talk to somebody else about this.
Okay.
And if not, we'll come back. We seem to have more over here, too.
Okay, it's a chorus. Is it a lady?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like it.
Kind of you to stop and chat. I'm in a sticky situation, and no one in my gang is alive or around to help me out.
Stop wasting the Fatebinder's time. He has better things to do than listen to some criminal's mewling. I'll be the judge of that. Tell me your problem, soldier.
Thanks for hearing me out. The disfavored aren't keen on conversation. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. It's impossible to get a word in edgewise.
She glares at her captor.
Soldiers caught me outside a breach in the old walls. That's it. I wasn't inside.
I hadn't stuck my toe through the threshold. I wasn't dancing with any bane. I have a healthy relationship with self-preservation.
Then why were you arrested? You're only hearing one side of the story, Fatebinder. Our scouts observed this wretch, readying to enter the old walls. Her account is flawed. Her guilt is witnessed by multiple trustworthy northerners. The soldier makes a point of standing extra straight when he addresses you.
I'm sorry. Is readying to enter the best you have? Because I could just have easily argued that you're readying to get knifed between your shoulder blades. But it doesn't count for shit until I see blood and bronze. I didn't go into the old walls. Case closed.
Before I adjudicate on this matter, I need your mutual cooperation. If you ask me, this prisoner has already been tried and sentenced, but if this little game will silence her caterwauling, then be my guest.
I'll stand by your decision. It couldn't land me anywhere worse than this.
What were you doing outside of the old walls?
My gang went inside. As I tried to tell the disfavored clods 100 times over. I shouted myself raw trying to get them back out, but the gang was having none of it. Our leader discovered the breach and got himself excited over the chance at finding treasure. Try as I might, I couldn't talk him out of it.
Soldier, can you speak to this defense? I wasn't there, of course, but I'm familiar with the arrest record. There was no gang, just a lone opportunist out to make her fortune, breaking Kairos' laws. The scouts could tell just by looking at her that she was headed for the breach. She's a fiery one, put up quite a fight when they took her into custody. I have no reason to doubt the charges. So you have no interest in entering the old walls?
Any idea where the gang is now?
Well, okay, we'll get there.
Okay.
I go down the list usually.
Okay. Never. I grew up in the tiers. Even we knew better than to go inside the old walls. If not because of Kairos' law, because of the things lurking inside were like to eat us. That sounds like a typo.
Yeah, that does actually look like a typo. We've been stumbling over our words because we haven't recorded this for a week, but like...
I think it was like, we're likely to eat us. I think that's what it's supposed to mean.
Yeah. Or would like to eat us. Anyway.
Whatever you find in the shadows of those ruins, it's not worth the risk.
What was your gang doing in the old walls?
Causing trouble, looting, no more or less than what gangs do. Our boss was obsessed with holding his position, which is healthy when you're in the Scarlet Chorus. When he came to the conclusion that the old walls might have some powerful artifacts, he resolved himself to find one at all costs. Funny to see a guy so wrapped up in survival trying to get himself killed. Typical behavior for someone who isn't confident in their leadership. Makes for a nice self-fulfilling prophecy when their own gang takes them down. See? She understands. Foxtrix bows to verse.
Any idea where your gang is now?
I never saw them make it out of the old walls. So they either did, or they didn't. My money's on the latter. If they made it out, they aren't wasting their breath trying to find me, so F them. I like the attitude. If I had a mind to recruit, she would be my second or third.
Let's see. Did your gang cause the breach in the old walls?
What? Are you kidding me? It would either take an incredible force or incredible magic to bash through that ancient barrier. We had neither at our disposal. Either one of Kairos' edicts or some local mage caused the breach. Whatever ruling you make, don't pin that on me.
I'm inclined to agree. Don't make the mistake of giving this one too much credit. Okay.
Okay, so what's the favorable ruling worth?
That's the bribe thing.
Oh,
again.
no, never mind.
Yeah. I feel like I should come back again.
I think we need to look at the old wall. Maybe we can find evidence.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I feel like at some point we're going to be able to go there, maybe? Spoils acquired on the battlefield. All of it is neatly labeled and organized. There's a tent for camping. They were not injured. Iron Walker.
The funny thing is, you entered the old walls.
Yeah, we did.
And you took a tower. Kairos isn't angry
Well, I
with
haven't
you.
been in the old walls yet.
But we went inside.
It was the inner sanctum. There's a difference. That gate that was locked, that was the old walls.
Which gate?
You know that door that we couldn't get through? That probably had the last carving? That we never bothered with?
Oh, because there were the animals on the other side?
Yeah, that were making like weird creepy noises, but we never actually got through to talk to them.
We still figured out the password anyway, which
Yep.
is funny.
Okay, Osmia.
You must be the Fatebinder of Tunon, the disfavored Iron Walker bows. Welcome to Iron Hearth. Or Hearth.
Hi.
I think it's Hearth. Okay. I'm sure that Graven Ash appreciates any help you can offer. Circumstances have a way of coming together so that the disfavored are always stretched thinner than we would like. What can I do for you?
Why are the disfavored so overworked?
She rubs her palms together and frowns. We're trying to shoulder the brunt of this civil war without the strength of numbers. The Scarlet Chorus can throw 1,000 disposable bodies at an issue without a second thought, but we're forced to be a little bit more discriminating. We might be trained to deal with the stress of combat and all-night drills, but we're fatigued even by the high standard we set for ourselves. She studies you with a cautious manner. Not that I need to burden an agent of the court with my misgivings. Once the war is over and the tears are properly subdued, my hope is that Kairos dispatches some relief troops to support the occupation. We all deserve a season of rest.
Let's see. The court is always receptive to the needs of soldiers. Your point is noted.
That's very generous of you to say, Fatebinder. I'm grateful to know that someone is listening. A nervous smile brightens her expression.
Let's see. Where were you during the conquest? Nah, probably not. Yeah, we'll do it.
After the Edict of Storms hit, I spent some time among the ruins of Stalwart, digging out survivors from the Legion. Afraid I didn't find much. She glances up at Barrack. You must have moved on by then, or else we would have assembled a team to excavate you.
My prison moved with me. There's no reason to tarry. He bows his head respectfully.
I still think about the brothers and sisters we left behind. Sometimes I can imagine that I hear their voices carry on the wind.
I'll be on my way. Okay, and Zephylios.
Zephylos.
Zephylos? Yep. Even though you're not a fully fledged disfavored recruit, I've been authorized to grant you purchasing rights from our store, within certain limits, of course. What would you like to offer? Okay, here we go. So
Disfavored stuff.
Yeah, we got disfavored stuff. I don't like buying and selling too much, but we kind of need to. This game's kind of hard. Holy crap, this stuff's kind of expensive. Okay, yep. I guess before I do any inventory management, there we go. I have the bad habit of, well, all of my stuff never goes into my, what? Oh, okay. All of my stuff rarely, if ever, goes into my inventory. I'll just do that for the time being. We do have some better healing potions. I'll give her these, seeing as she tends to die quick. Let's see. I don't remember if the player getting knocked out is specifically damaging. Okay, here we go. Now do have, note that's the charcoal rubbing. I just want to see if we had anything particularly useful. I guess we should probably check equipment very quickly. So nothing on the dagger, nothing on this. I just want to see if any of these have particularly good DPS stuff. That's a two-handed, and this is another two-handed. Okay.
I'd still like to ask Barrack about what happened in the Edict of Storms.
Oh yeah, we should do that. Yosha's calling. Sigil of Life regenerating. Ooh. Yes. Please. I would too. We'll check that in a second. I'm just, you know, I gotta quickly get through inventory management. I hate doing this.
Inventory management.
I do too. I wish I like games where like you don't really have that many things.
I really liked it how World of Warcraft just gave everyone artifacts with, you know, customizable skins.
Yeah.
And
like I like character
upgrade
management.
systems.
Like I like the talent tree system, and honestly I really do like equipment systems in games.
I just don't like getting a bunch of junk equipment and then having to sell it.
Yeah,
or
having to slog
scrap
through
it.
and be like, so And, you know, figure stuff out. Let's see, if rogues, extra subterfuge. I don't even know what her subterfuge is. I'll give it to her anyway. And regenerating. Does my character... What is this? Purifying. Immunity to poisoned. Quickness.
Have you had the same staff since the beginning?
No, I've switched it out. It just looks the same. This is... We got this recently. Oh, wait, no, that is my staff. Yeah,
You bad staves.
I really haven't found any actually good staves. I guess this one's slightly better. Damage, frost. Yeah, Pillar of Courage is slightly better, I guess, so I'll throw that on. I haven't found anything that I'm particularly interested in, because 90% of them are kind of garbage. They usually don't have any special effects, barring like 1 or 2. Anyway, show me your wares. And... what is it? Control click? Awesome. I'll bring the blue hammer back just because. Let's see, don't care about these. Do care about all these trade goods. I really wish it wouldn't give me the confirmation of how many do you want to move over, because that takes longer than just mashing control click a bunch of times. Ooh, we're going to get an iron ring. That's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And do I have the sigil of rooting? I don't think I actually learned that. Along the way here. Okay. So the sigil of stone. Okay. Oh, quit your belly aching. We'll be done in a second. Okay, so we already got the forge-bound hammer. There's the sword, slightly more... but no. Binding oath. Martyr. Interesting. I don't understand how it works. I do really wish Barrack's armor could be upgraded. Just because.
But
okay.
it's fused.
I
to
know.
His body.
But like if you could like add new weapons to it to like make it better. Like if there was a system where you could actively if there's a system where you could actively like... Why do we have to have my character selected for this one? A system where you could like add shit to him, like sacrifice a weapon to increase his overall durability and stuff, or not durability, his overall like armor and stuff. I don't know, it'd be cool. I like it when games give you a good way of dumping stuff apart from just, you know, selling it back to a merchant. Though, at least selling stuff to merchants is actually kind of lucrative in this game, unlike a lot of other ones.
Can we find the old walls around here? I just want to see if we can prove
the old walls aren't going to be here. They're going to be at a different location.
Oh.
Yeah, so we might have to come back and lay down some judgments. Oh, he's not voice acted this time around. Fatebinder, no one in recent history has reached the pinnacle of a spire, yet you stepped to the top as if it were intended for your occupation. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm still figuring out what it could mean, or they can help in the war. Then you have to
Let's do number 2. I'm still figuring out what it could mean. Take care with your curiosity, then. If the arcana behind the spires has been lost, there's likely a good reason behind it. I would hate to lose a capable agent due to some calamity. What is it that you require? How can I continue my service to the disfavored? These are troubled times for all, and none more so than the forces of Kairos. Our organized defense is splintered, loyalties are challenged at every level of command, and much that we have built during the conquest crumbles under its own weight. We have thought the Vendrian Guard were the final rattle of this region's defiance. We were wrong. The tiers have risen up against Kairos, emboldened by their countrymen. And when the disfavored labor to maintain order, that serpent of the voices in rot grows his army of lunatics and sellswords, preparing to lash out when we least expect it.
I can only imagine that the Voices is driving his gangs mad with plots to storm this fortress.
There can be no peace while the voices in rot lives, and no order while the Scarlet Chorus rampage across these lands. The elimination of chaos must be our first priority. Then we will have our time to govern the tiers as Kairos intended. Can I depend on your support against the scourge? What would you have me do? Our position of authority in the Blade Grave is far from secure. We need to establish ourselves in the region in order to cultivate our strength for the battle to come. As soon as I am confident in our chances, we will depart this realm and wipe the chorus threat from the face of Tyranny. The Unbroken, former daughters and sons of Stalwart, vex our efforts to secure this region. The Edict of Storms offers them cover. They slip past our patrols in the light of day, hiding their movements behind clouds of dust and debris.
Can you hover over Unbroken?
Unbroken.
The Unbroken Legion was a proud and accomplished army of the realm of Stalwart. Citing their victories as evidence of skill, they prided themselves on never facing defeat while fighting on home soil. After the Edict of Storms tore apart Stalwart and twisted it into the Blade Grave, barely a 20th of the Unbroken's former strength survived to continue the war against Kairos' forces. Okay.
Okay. Kairos cast this blight on the country to set an example, not to plague those of us loyal to the north. We must travel to Sentinel's Stand and seek out Stratus Hirudin. He is the last of the old Stalwart bloodline who called themselves regents. Put him to the sword and end this edict once and for all. Who is Stratus Hirudin? The last of an elder bloodline that ruled Stalwart and maintained its dignity. He is also a filthy coward. During the last battle of Stalwart, he crouched behind the walls of Sentinel's Stand Keep and refused to meet our forces in the field of battle. Why is he so important to the edict? He would neither surrender nor impel his soldiers to do so. As such, Kairos decreed that storms would ravage the country until the regent was dead. Stratus Hirudin was free to kill himself, of course, but he was either too proud or too gutless to do the task. Why has no one killed Hirudin yet? Because he persists in crouching behind the walls of Sentinel's Stand. With the Edict of Storms raging around the Citadel, no one has been able to enter or exit since the last year of the conquest. No bird or missive has left the Windwall either. The Edict is all the proof we have that Hirudin still lives. Tell me the Edict of Storms. Kairos visited this plague upon the land of the people of Stalwart to punish their leader's cowardice. We had thought the edict would have been dispelled long ago, but to our dismay it endures. The rust and debris filling the air is a source of constant irritation and hampers our ability to conduct this war on our terms. You should consider the subjugation of Stalwart and the ending of this edict tasks of equal importance. Thankfully, your goals are well matched. The persistence of the edict is tied to Hirudin's bloodline. Kairos decreed that the storms will continue until the last of the regents is slain. End the regents to end the edict, and return to me victorious. I understand what must be done. I'll make for this blade grave at once. Find the last regent, kill him, end this edict of storms, and staunch the seeping wound of rebellion once and for all. The downfall of the Unbroken and the old regent will send a message throughout the tiers. Our rule is absolute, and dissidents will not be tolerated. Okay.
Oh, wait, so consider it done, or could we find a common ground with the people of Stellar, or I will travel to the Sentinel Stand and judge by my findings?
Okay, we'll just do consider it done.
Wait, but so you're just saying it outright?
Yeah, we're just gonna say, like, alright, we'll do it. And if we find some other way. Well, I mean, do you want to try and do common ground?
No, I'm not thinking of the common ground. I'm thinking that you are the judge. Isn't it your thing being judging? Or I don't know.
I will travel to Sentinel Stand and judge my findings.
Uh-oh.
Told you. If your perspective is as lawful and orderly as it ought to be, the right path should seem clear. The Unbroken must be destroyed, and the edict must end. Should you arrive at any other conclusion, I suggest that you stifle your opinion and follow orders like any good soldier. There's one final matter to discuss. My daughter went missing in the second year of the conquest. I have reason to believe she is trapped in the fortress of Sentinel Stand. If you can find Amelia, bring her home to me. How do you know she's in Sentinel Stand?
Alive?
Well, let's go down the list. I always go down the list.
Okay, fine.
It is the one location in all of Stalwart we cannot reach. If her detachment of soldiers was taken captive, she would have been placed beyond my power. No doubt for the southern wretches to use for negotiation. His expression twists with distaste. Tell me about Amelia. She has her father's stubborn persistence. She is an excellent fighter, though more brazen and eager to test herself in the field of battle. I have objected to this disposition in the past, but it seems as integral to her being as the very breath she draws. Our relationship has endured its challenges. The last several years, I have been a better general to her than a father. Once the war is over and she is restored to the Legion, I hope we can find it in ourselves to know each other once more. What makes you think she's still alive? We have traveled together through this fallen, corrupted land. You are no doubt aware of the Aegis I extend to my troop.
I think we'd looked it up and it was actually Aegis.
No, it's Aegis.
Aegis?
You're the one that's wrong.
No. I originally called it Aegis.
Yeah, it's Aegis.
But
Aegis.
I looked up the original Greek, though.
I don't care about the original Greek. I mean, the other... whatever. Okay. I'm going to call it Aegis unless people get really mad at me, but even then, everybody gets mad at me for different ones.
People got mad at us the last time I pronounced it Aegis.
Well, yeah, that's because it sounds dumb.
But it sounds so much better than Aegis, which is what everyone says it should be called, even though it looks good as Aegis or Aegis.
Aegis.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
And anyway, it is the boon I grant to my Northerners for loyal service and devotion to our shared cause. As my army feels my guardianship, I am keenly aware of them in turn. Their concern, their pain, it is my burden to carry as their leader. Amelia is alive. I have awoken at night in cold sweats, my bile rising with violence. What torment she suffers at the hands of those stalwart animals is a mystery. I only want her restored to heal in the company of the Legion. Let's see.
Yeah, don't question her.
If I find her, I will ensure her safe return. That is all I ask. Amelia is but one soldier. Yet, if I had the forces to dispatch, I would make her retrieval my highest priority. She is a commander of the highest renown, and paragon of the northern values. Fatebinder, I offer to you my support on this mission. The Blade Grave is a place of memory. I left many cohorts behind, buried among the ruins, and no small part of myself as well. Could you elaborate? The matter is a sensitive one, but I fear to speak of it in the company of the great general, though he doubtless knows it already. Beric attempts to stand tall before Graven Ash. Speak on, son of Barraconan. Nothing I've seen you accomplish in the field has diminished you in my eyes, and I know my soldiers as well as I know myself. Ash nods with approval. I lost countrymen by the hundreds in the last day of the Stalwart campaign, and for my troubles I became fused in this armor. The Blade Grave is the last place I ever felt human. That is all I will say about it now. The last battle of Stalwart was a terrible time, perhaps most of all for you who survived. I mourn those we lost, and recite their names often during the morning drills. We cannot restore their broken bodies to the north, but we can remember them as they were. Is that all? Your manner has changed. Beric stands straighter, and for a moment you can't tell if he is going to lash out or crumple into himself. You are prepared for anything. After a long pause, his shoulders sagged the slightest bit. My cohort men marched on Sentinel's stand to complete a mission. We failed. The walls of the keep defied us, and the last regent of Stalwart refused to meet us in battle. The coming of Kairos' edict cut us off from our objective. Because of this, the Blade Grave is also a place of regret. You have much invested in the mission. Of course you can accompany me. I appreciate that, Fatebinder. Graven Ash is attentive and understanding to each of his troops, and it pleases me to see his example in you. And in you, Armored One, never forget that I found you at the mere germination of your potential, and you have accomplished much in the ensuing years. Thank you, General. Though it is impossible to tell through his helmet, you assume that Beric is blushing. Your map is already marked with the position of the Sentinel stand. It would take me 100 lifetimes to forget those old walls, or the day the edict shattered our advance. Let us be off then. Okay.
So, you gained back the favor you lost with the Ash,
Oh yeah.
didn't you?
Oh yeah. I think there was like a little bit of wrath, but like my favor with the disfavored and Ash is pretty high. In fact, I think we can look at it. Here? No. It's one of these. Records, no. One of these tells me... Ah, here we are. Reputation, specifically with Graven Ash. Yeah, we are almost maxed out on favor with Graven Ash. And very minimal wrath. Now, there's actually a benefit to getting higher amounts with some of these characters. Oh, but not Graven Ash. Or anything like that. So, if you look with, like, Siren, for example, a certain amount of loyalty and fear will unlock new special abilities that we can do. So for, like, Lantry, for example, we can get Wheel of Ages, which we do, like, a slowing aura. Barrack has that Iron Storm thing that we do sometimes. She's got a bow move, but we have not exactly used her for bow anything for a while. Okay. Well, I say let's go for the... That was just one episode talking to people. Beautiful. Okay, where the deuce are we? So there's Sentinel Stand. Where's the, Kato Village?
What's that?
Wow. You know how there was that quest about the one, Scarlet Chorus, like, lieutenant trapped somewhere? He's all the way over here. We're gonna do that first.
Okay.
Just because it seems like that's going to be easier. And I generally prefer to, you know, take things easier or harder. Especially with, you know, strategic RPGs where...
There's a lot of days, though.
Yeah, but we're not timed anymore.
Or so you think. Maybe your days
I have
of
not heard of
delay
a
will have
second time
condemned
limit in this
Amelia.
game. So, I think we're okay. Oh, please don't tell me it's the same village. No, okay, no. It just looks very similar to that initial village that we raided.
So, are we gonna check every door, or...?
No. Maybe. Most of Kato's settlers fled as Chorus forces approached. This home, like most others, has been abandoned. Ah, here we go.
So, we have Kypera. Throw down your weapons, mouth breather Nefcio. Nefcio? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Nefcio and I give you my word that you and your men will be brought back to Ash unharmed.
Only to face hard labor or the executioner's axe. Would Ash just forget about the whole caravans we hijacked? You think you can just sweep that under the rug?
He's called mouth breather. What would a mouth breather sound like? That sounds a little too Darth Vader-y. The soldier softens her tone, but you can detect an undercurrent of something dangerous. I don't deny that you will answer to Graven Ash. His word is law, and you will find yourselves subject to his mercy.
The lieutenant barks a fatalistic laugh.
I'm already familiar with Ash's mercy. He doesn't tolerate the Scarlet Horse. No matter if we had a decorated career, I could earn my name 10 times over under the voices in Herat, and it still wouldn't matter in the Graven Ash's estimate. As far as he's concerned, we're just brigands and pirates, and he judges us for fighting in his war.
This one has a fair point. Graven Ash never wanted the Scarlet Chorus to join the invasion, and only ever saw us as an obstruction. Makes you wonder how he would have fared in his own. I wager the disfavored would have fought themselves into extinction.
Or into a better organized conquest, free of the division or disagreement. Conjecture is pointless. We will never know.
Ooh, so it looks like you're going to gain or lose some favor with Verse or Barrack on this one.
Sorry, Verse. I think Ash would have subjugated the Tears with his army alone. I don't question it for a moment. Tactics and training are enough to win a war. The passion of the Scarlet Chorus is an empty promise. He nods to the argument. Looks like this is coming to a head.
Debate all you want. You have nowhere to go. Drop your weapons or die here where you stand.
Sucks to your options. I have a better idea.
He whistles. His whistle pierces the silence.
Get her, boys!
Oh, a fight.
Okay, so obviously, can I select these two? Get them. Actually, let's go for her. She doesn't have a helmet on, presuming she's probably maybe something. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, we got a bonus to lore. Good stuff. So we got Prime Spike. I forget what new moves I've picked up here. I should probably actually sort through my spells, because I have
Probably
some.
got some directional ice and other things,
Yeah.
right?
I think we haven't exactly equipped them yet. Okay, well, let's start with this. That did not hit nearly as many people as I'd like it to, but that's okay. Okay, here we go. Path of Frost. That is such a beastly move. It's got a very long cooldown, but I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm gonna run away for a second. Wow, these guys are not doing so well. I was trying to rotate my camera, but I can't. I forgot, this is not,
It's one of the solid
well, this isn't the
villages.
dwarves.
Yeah.
Like, the problem is we're
yeah.
playing this in the dwarves now, and it's...
Similar.
Yeah, similar enough to mess with my head. Okay. So he's probably transferred up to a different part of the zone. Let's loot the place first, and then move on.
Well, you can talk to Kypera, right?
A little bit, yeah. But I'm gonna loot the area just in case something happens, and we'll probably also level up. That's an easy fight. Yeah, it doesn't look like we've got anything secret in here.
What's the door?
I don't know. I assume that's to follow him. But we're going to make a quick moment to level up. Let's give her a little bit more HP. And what do we do? Do we do... Swaps position with an enemy, stabs them with each of her weapons. Knock him prone, downward strikes. That's a taunt, a rush. I already have that one, one. Let's do pig on a spit. Seems reasonable. Okay, he didn't level up. We did. Okay, so we have channeled strength. That's the better version of Cone of Magic. We've got increases damage with magic staves, basic strikes to hit multiple times. Expanded minds, 2 extra spell slots. Let's do that. And you. So we've got the arcane shield. Oh, we can get this next one.
Oh, the next healing?
Yeah, so increase the health restored by second breath. Oh, but we don't revive people that often. Let's see. He's got a slow time move. Or the arcane shield. Let's add passage of hours for the time being. Probably. It slows enemies down. I don't know how often he gets to use that, but whatever. Okay, so Lantry's health's at 170. That's not bad. I guess I'll go back into spell strength for the time being. And I'll do a little bit of spell strength for myself. Okay, that was fast. Let's talk to Kypera. Nothing. Door!
Okay, so they'll just stay vigilant.
Yeah, so we're just gonna follow him in. I'll do spell management in a short bit. My voice is getting flimsy. Oh, hey, we're not in combat immediately. Well then, I'm going to use this opportunity to teach myself some new moves. So we have Sigil of Fire, Vigor, Force, Illusion, Stone. Let's try Fire, Directed Force, Distant Impact, Channeled Strength. It's a cone. Flash Fire. Okay, so we can do... Ooh.
Bleeding or
Frostfire. Honestly, I'd prefer to save those for later. They're kind of neat, but I'd rather like boost the damage. And what's my lore at? 80. Dang. Can I get this up? Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that with that. And then probably the same thing. Can I do... Oi, giant boulder. Is I think just a line. Oh, I see. It knocks people over. Sadly, I don't think I'm gonna be well, we can get length. We can decrease the cooldown, or can I increase the power? No, I can't increase the power. What do you think? Cooldown? 14 seconds.
Wait, what kind of damage does this do? It just does 30, 31
yeah,
crash?
23 to 31 and knocks people over. So it's a huge stone boulder, send it hurtling forward. Boulder bounces erratically and flattens everything in its path. I don't think it can do friendly fire. Mainly because I don't think this game does friendly fire. Okay, let's do range and assign that as our last spell. There we go. Okay.
So, curses! No way out. Hey, you! I'm assuming from that look on your face that you're not here to help me escape. He eyes you with suspicion. Let's see. Turn yourself over to the disfavored and be spared. As if I would ever believe such a lie. I'd just as quickly run my blade through my guts and face a swifter death. But I'll start by killing you. It would be boring to die alone. Okay, so as usual.
Fight.
Sikkim. Let's see if I can get her over there. This is me, yes. Okay. I was really hoping I could get in a proper line here, but this will have to do. Okay, spells. Where's that new move? Can I get all of them? Yes. Boulder!
It looks so funny.
Wow, that was kind of lame, honestly.
It was like boonsy, boonsy, boons.
It was not nearly as, not nearly as kick-ass as I thought it was going to be. Oh. Okay, there we go. Now we can do the ice wave.
It was probably because it was incredibly slow. I mean, could you imagine? You could dodge that.
Probably, yeah. There we go. That's some damage. Let's have Lantry do... Not Second Breath. Let's have him do Quicken. Seeing as Lantry is tanking these attacks, we're doing a pretty dang good job, though. Whoops. Oh, I selected Barrack by accident. Well, this is fine. I think we've actually finally gotten to the point, RPG-wise, where we're not, like, totally getting dunked in combat. Which is actually kind of nice. Not getting terribly injured.
Then again, we'll have to see when we do the main quest
Oh, wait,
missions.
he's not dead yet. That's a good point. Okay, so we've got Akalos. Yeah, the main quest missions. Well, I think this is one of those where it will always follow, like, you know, standard RPG rules. Which is to say, do every side, like, piece of side content, and everything else just kind of gets really easy for you. I guess I've always enjoyed that about RPGs. Okay, so she doesn't have
I
anything.
could hear the squeals from out here. I owe you my thanks, Fatebinder.
Yep, and we get out of here.